The KTM 390 Adventure, a small but versatile little bike capable of handling all types of roads, ranging from long commuter rides to work as well as off-road fun and adventure. Does it live up to the KTM Adventure class standards? Well, we'll get right into it. First and foremost, I would like to give a big shout out to Motos Houtekiet. Without them this video wouldn't be possible, so thank you very much for lending us this bike. Definitely go check them out. We'll put some links in the description and go giving them some love. Anyway, let's get into this review. We will start off with some specifications about the bike. It has a 373cc single cylinder banger in it. It is capable of producing around 44 horsepower and 37 Newton meters of torque at 7000 RPM. This thing can go from 0 to 100 in around 6.1 seconds and is able to go all the way up to 170 kilometers an hour. Now, those aren't the biggest and best stats or numbers we've ever seen on an adventure bike, but it still brings a lot of fun to the table. Now, unfortunately, we don't have the ability to go off-road with these bikes today, but after reading some comments on the internet and reviews, it really holds its ground off-road, and it doesn't really need that power like the 130 horsepower 1250 GS to have a lot of fun in the off-road sections. Now, on the road it does have its limitations, of course. It really struggles to keep up with the big bikes, just like this 890 Adventure from KTM, who happens to be riding right in front of us. Maybe we should do a review of that bike as well. Should be fun. Stay tuned, guys. Anyway, this bike has a 14.5 liter fuel tank, and according to KTM it can go up to 450 kilometers per tank. Now, that is a lot. Like, that means it has a fuel consumption of about 3.5 or 3.8 liters per 100 kilometers. That is low. That's very low. And unfortunately, we don't have this bike for the entire day, so we aren't really able to test the complete capacity of this tank. But after reading some forums online and some research, the owners of this bike get about 350 to 400 kilometers per tank, which is still quite nice for such little bike. And it of course depends all on your riding style as well. If you ride a little bit more aggressive or a little bit more economical, so to say. Now, talking about the design and aesthetics of this bike, I'll also give you some of my personal opinions, but first let's pull over right here so I can get some more up-close footage for you guys and girls. And we're back. Now, except for the new Rally Dakar inspired colors in these beautiful orange colors and these beautifully spoked rims, 19-inch in the front and 17-inch in the back, not really much has changed from the 2022 model. It still has the, in my opinion, great looking bug-like headlights here. I really like those. LED, of course. They really give off a nice light even when riding in the dark, so I really like those. Also, although they are plastic, the handguards, they still look great, but I've heard some comments online that they don't last too long if you go off-roading, so that might be an upgrade you make if you buy this bike. Now, regarding the windscreen, it isn't the biggest and it won't give you a lot of protection on the long rides on the highway, but it is something, you know. There are still a lot of aftermarket windscreens available that are a little bit higher and give you a little bit more comfort. Now, a major upgrade from the previous version is the new WP Apex compression and rebound adjustable upside down front forks. Now, as you can see, these things support up to 30 clicks of rebound and compression, which is very nice if you are into tuning your suspension a little bit. Now in the back is also a fully adjustable WP monoshock suspension. Furthermore, it also keeps the 5-inch TFT display, with 2 power modes, street and off-road. Also the off-road and cornering ABS make its return, as well as the well-known traction control, which is lean sensitive of course. Now it doesn't have the most amount of options, but it has some, and it's more than enough to have a blast both on and off-road. An additional feature that is available is a quick shifter, both up and down, but that doesn't come standard with the bike. Also, over 140 power parts are available on the KTM website to fit your personal needs, so definitely go check them out if you are into that. Also, now that I think of it, we might as well just take a quick look at the sound that this bike makes. Now don't get me wrong, it's not bad, but it's still, yeah, it misses that punch, you know, that like a 2, 3 or 4 cylinder has, but definitely not bad for a single cylinder motorcycle. Now seating position wise, I personally feel a little bit cramped on the bike. I think for people who are taller than, let's say, 175 to 180 centimeters, this bike might just be a little bit too small. Now my lovely assistant here will show this to you. He is about 185 centimeters. If you could just take a seat please. The other way around. Yeah, thank you. Now as I said, he is around 185 centimeters, and as you can see, he sits a little bit bent over on the bike. Also his knees have quite an angle in them, which might become a problem for those longer tours. When standing up on the bike, the handlebars are also way too low for comfort. There's still a small piece you can put between the bars to make them higher, but it still remains quite low to stand up or go off-roading. Thank you for a demonstration. Now let's hear what he thinks about the seating position. Okay, not the talkative type I guess. Anyway, let's get back on the road. Now, money-wise, this bike comes in at around 7,800 euros here in Belgium. It's not cheap, don't get me wrong, but it does come with a lot. You know, you have those active ABS, those active traction controls, so it does come with quite some options. Now personally I think it's a great bike, don't get me wrong, but it won't be something for me. It's a little bit too cramped for me personally, and it also, oh hang on, not too bad. Anyway, it wouldn't be for me because I feel a little bit too cramped on it, and also the handlebars that are a little bit too low, that's just a no-no for me. I do think this bike has great potential for people who are starting to get into riding motorcycles, who are starting to get into off-roading. I really think this is a great bike for them, but for the more experienced rider, I don't know. And especially for people who are a little bit taller, I don't think this is for them. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. You know the drill, like, comment, subscribe, and hopefully we'll see you in the next video. Bye bye!